Single. Yeah, we are single life. Single. Now you got the world. I'm glad I got my.
And keep your head up, what? That's right. You gotta fight back. My homegirl standing to the left and the right.
Here go my part. All right, everybody, we are back with another episode of Beast Talk.
Oh yes, we are back. I don't know what episode we're on. Cause
I don't even know either. I lost track.
We did like 3 last week, so I don't know if those even count as episodes. But if this is an official episode, we're like on either 8 or 9.
Yeah, I think it's like 8, but
I don't know.
I don't know either, but this week's episode is about living single as an African American millennial.
Yes, living single as a black millennial. Ooh. Yeah.
All right. But before we get into that, tell me about your week, Jill.
My week was all right, I guess. I got a new temp job. I'm back to 2 jobs, shawty.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I'm working at I'm actually working at UGA. It's kind of interesting. I'm working in the IT department, but I'm not like in IT. I'm almost there. Almost working in my career, but I'm not. I'm a administrative assistant, so that's pretty decent. I have a lot of free time there, so I don't really do anything. So it's pretty straight. My week was all right. The people at my second job didn't get on my nerves this week, so that was even better. But yeah, it was pretty slow this week. It was just work.
Same.
Oh, and I played, I started my semi-pro practice yesterday, so that was good. I'm back to playing basketball. So
back at it.
The beast is back,
back
ladies
at it
and
like
gentlemen.
a crack addict.
You know? So yeah, so that's all I did this week.
My week. What did I do? Shit. I mean, nothing. Take my daughter to school, the usual. Try to get a refund on our photo shoot that we did for Black History Month.
Oh my God. Y'all, we try to support black businesses. We really do. It's just, we almost had to take somebody to court. It's so sad.
We did a photo shoot for Black History Month. We had to sign a contract and everything. The contract that we signed said we would have our materials, our edited products in 4 to 5 business days from the date that we picked the selected photos.
Yep.
We picked our selected photos within a week. We did not get our edited pictures back for 28 days. And then after we got them back, they were not the proper pictures.
They weren't the ones that we chose.
Yeah. So I was like, me, I'm like, fuck it, just give my money back. He's like, no, I can't give you your money back. It's not in the contract. I'm like, look, you can either give me my money back or you can run me this one, nigga. Like, we're not finna go back and forth about it.
Exactly.
I know where you work, where you stay, all that stuff, whatever. So he was like, oh, we can't, I can't give you a refund back. He was like, your emails that you're contacting me on are going to spam. So I'm emailing the dude. I'm writing him on Facebook and I'm texting him. He's like, oh, I don't check Facebook messages, but you're on Facebook every day.
Exactly.
He's like, I don't. Your emails go to spam. My emails won't go to spam when you're trying to get my money, though.
Exactly.
So, Jill took over and...
I just had to take over and, just pull that professional side out. I was like, look, I will go to small claims court about this over, what was it, $200?
It was
over $200.
Like,
come on, bro. Like, stop playing with us. Like, don't play with me about money. Like, it's not even that.
Tripping.
And then I know, like, being a creative, I have my own business. And my biggest flaw in my business is going to the post office and sending stuff off on time for my clothing line. Like, I be doing too much to go to the post office, honestly. But for the people that I'm, like, really late on sending them their stuff, I usually send them something free. And, for them waiting for so long, I'll just give them something free. But this person talking about something, I don't do refunds. My time was still used.
And I'm like,
Bitch, I don't give a fuck.
That's what I said. I was like, I don't give a fuck if your mama time was used.
Exactly.
Like, Negro, you took 28 days. 28 days to get the product. Once we got the product, we were supposed to get 4 edited pictures back. We only got 1. No, we got 2.
Yes.
One of the ones we didn't even pick.
Yes, it was a picture that he picked. So
I'm like, what the fuck?
And he was like, yeah, I was wrong. Well, then give us our money back. Like, I don't understand. Like, I will take you to court over
Then
this.
after all of that, he finally decided to give us our refund, and he was like, it's going to take 30 days. So you know me, I'm petty. I was like, it does not take 30 days. Let me give you a list of options in which you can pay me immediately. I said, you can go to Kroger and do Western Union. You can go to Walmart. You can send me MoneyGram. You can
Cash
download
App.
the Cash App and send it to me.
Motherfucking Venmo.
PayPal. It does not take 30 days.
Exactly.
He's like, oh, well, I have to follow the proper... Fuck
all that.
Fuck all that.
For real.
So I'm like, once we get our money back, you still probably gonna get your ass kicked on site. So it's like you still gonna take an L either way.
Yeah,
because you
either
playing.
way.
You are playing about some money. And if
I'm
you
real petty. I was about to go on every single every single picture that he posted on Instagram, letting people know, do not work with this man. He is a scammer.
Then he deleted us. Then he deleted us.
He deleted us off of Facebook and everything. Like, it's crazy. Like, this don't make no sense. Especially like as a business owner, when you're in the wrong, just accept that you're in the wrong.
Yeah, like
and do right by your customers.
Yeah, sometimes you fuck up. Just take that L and, you know, give them what they're asking for, because at the end of the day, you want more business. And I
Exactly.
think that's kind of like we talked about before. That's one of the major problems with black businesses. We do have horrible customer service a lot of times.
Jesus Christ, oh my God. I'm working on mine though. I'm working on mine. Beast Clothing. I'm working on my customer service. That's like my biggest flaw, is going to the post office on time, y'all. I'm sorry. I just be doing too much. I just be doing too much, and I be missing the post office.
It really can be, you know, an issue.
It is what it is. You want to go ahead and go into these pet peeves?
Yeah. You want me to go first, or you gonna go first?
You can go first.
All right, so my pet peeve of the week is speaker phones in public. People that talk on speakerphone in public is so fucking annoying to me. Like, nobody gives a fuck what you're talking about. Nobody cares. So you have the audacity to walk around in Walmart and talk on speakerphone. You really think we give a fuck what you're talking about?
I'm so guilty of this. Like,
I know you, and it's so annoying. Like, it's so annoying. Like,
I do this a lot especially when I forget my headphones. My phone etiquette is trash, by the way. Like, oh my God, everybody that I've talked to, they know my phone etiquette is trash. Like, I will be on speakerphone and then my ADD kicks in, and I just try to do everything while I'm still on the phone and still hold a conversation. It's horrible. Yeah, I be on speakerphone.
I cannot
And be
stand
on
people
the
that talk on
phone.
speakerphone in public. Like, people be on the phone with their kids and, oh, hey, baby. You know, the kids in the crying on the backside. Mom. No, I don't care. I don't care if it is. I don't care who it is. Like, just put it on the regular phone or headphones, something. I don't know. What's your pet peeve, Jill?
My pet peeve of the week is people that disturb my slumber, i.e. you.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. This morning, you definitely did that. I have a lot of alarms set on my phone. I don't get to sleep a lot because of all the different things that I do. Like I said, I work 2 jobs. So I value my sleep. So when people disturb my slumber, it really, really irks me. It really grinds my gears. Like, I really hate it. The only person that doesn't bother me when they wake me up from my sleep is my nephew. My nephew, he'll do it in the morning, and at first I'll give him a look, but then I remember he's only 2. So then I just let it go, and I just let bygones be bygones. But you, stop interrupting my sleep, Terrence, especially on the days that we record, because I know when to be here.
But my thing is, if you don't want your sleep interrupted, why don't you have your phone on silent?
Because if my phone is on silent, then my alarm won't go off.
That's not true.
No, it is true. For my phone, it is. I don't know about the 7. But whenever I put it on silent, my alarm does not go off.
Since the iPhone like 4, you can put your phone on silent and the alarm will still go off.
My alarm does not go off.
And you see Trent's over there nodding his head, so you're wrong.
My alarm does not go off. I'm telling you off of experience. I put my phone on silent and put my alarm on.
You can turn your phone off and your alarm will still come on.
Well, I don't know about any of that.
You might need to go back to the Droid family, because I don't know.
Nah, I'm not going back to the Droid family. My phone all day. But stop disrupting my sleep, telling me when I need to be here. You
sound like my friend. I got a Hispanic friend. Shout out to Jennifer Serengo. She'll
What up,
get
Jenny?
mad. She'll get mad because the group text will be going off at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm like, put your phone on silent. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, I shouldn't have to. You shouldn't just. You should. I'm gonna put you on do not disturb.
I don't even go to sleep that early,
It's
so
okay.
you know I'm up 3 or 4 texting.
That make no sense. Makes no sense. But that was it. That's all. That's my pet peeve. That's it.
We're gonna take a little break and we'll be right back with Hot Topics.
Yeet.
All right, everybody, we are back with our Hot Topics. Jill,
Take it away. All
take
right.
us away with the first Hot Topic of the week.
First hot topic is the 2017 Oscars. Ooh, they were so good. Well, they were all right. I'll give that.
It was all right. I
it was all right.
More black people won
Finally.
this year than in any other ceremony in whatever the fucking 100 years. I don't know, some shit.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But Viola Davis won for Best Supporting Actress.
Well deserved and
for
well earned.
Fences. Mm-hmm. Barry Jenkins won for Best Picture for Moonlight.
Yeah.
And who else won? Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali won for Moonlight as well.
Yeah.
I think Viola Davis definitely deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
Ali for Best Supporting Actor in Moonlight. I mean, I'm indifferent on that. Moonlight, I feel like I don't know if they deserved it. I mean,
I saw your Facebook post.
Yeah, people got offended by it, I guess.
I don't think anybody got offended. Most people did.
Not
a lot
offended.
of people don't understand, didn't get the movie, especially a lot of straight men. They really didn't get it.
Not only that, but they didn't understand like my thought process. My thought process, like I didn't really explain it, but people was like, "Oh, I was saying basically Moonlight is no different than Boys in the Hood, Minister Society.
Yeah.
You got a black boy coming to age, trying to, he's battling with inner conflicts and not having a father, drugs in the community. I mean, he's battling with that stuff. The only difference in Moonlight was that he was gay.
Yeah.
But my issue with the movie Moonlight was white America and Hollywood, they promoted it as this big gay movie, like this big gay movie. And when you watch the movie, it doesn't even talk about that. I mean, it talks about it for literally one scene.
It just because in the black gay community, there's different sides, different, I guess, labels that you would consider, gays. The guys that still dress masculine and people, basically a gay man that you can't tell is gay based off the way he looks, they're considered trade. So what that boy was in the film, he will be what is considered trade in the gay world.
Trade or trade?
Trade. Like trade, like slave trade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what they consider like masculine gay men. And so I loved it because it showed that side, because in the straight world, all they know is DL or like really feminine gay. Like there's the only two sides of the fence that you can fall on. And a lot of men or a lot of straight people don't realize that there are gay men out here that dress and look just like straight men that are considered trade and that are gay, and no one would ever know. Like, they're your drug dealers, they're your I'm trying to think, your hairstylist, but I mean, hairstylists are sometimes feminine or whatever. But like your mechanics, it's a lot of men out here that are that have that very masculine side about them, but on the inside that they struggle with their sexuality. I thought it showed just a different side of I don't know of how gay men, just a different side of sexuality on that spectrum. I think a lot of straight men really didn't get it, and I was like, I mean, of course you're not gonna get it. You're straight and you refuse to get it.
I mean, I did like how the movie explored.
I hated how it ended.
I mean, I hated the ending too, but I liked how the movie explored sexuality in an adolescent male, because that's something that we never see. We always hear about black women, going on these benders where they, might go to college and sleep with other women and, scissor and all that shit. Yeah, but the men, you
never hear about it. And then they also like give this label to men that once they step into that world, that they're automatically over there. They're automatically on the fence. Like, they can't jump back. And so like how the dude that he was talking to or whatever that he was experimenting with, he ended up having like a wife and kids later on and stuff like that. But it was like, once you're like, as a man, once you're gay, you're always gay. And that's like, oh, you can't come back to the other side of the fence. Like, oh, you can't explore. You're not allowed to explore your sexuality as a black man.
And see, I didn't have a problem with that in the movie. I know a lot of black men did. I didn't care about that. My issue was, in the movie, that wasn't explained. Like, it was literally 30 seconds, and that was it. He was on the beach. That was it. It was no...
I mean, at the beginning, when he was a kid, the kids were calling him faggot and stuff like that because he was really shy and quiet and stuff like that.
But there was no in-depth analysis of the sexuality aspect. Yet, white America promoted it as this great, coming-to-age gay movie, and it really wasn't that. To me, I got Boys in the Hood all over again, and yes, he was gay for 30 seconds in the movie. I understand, he was gay throughout the whole movie.
I was about to say,
he was gay throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
but I mean, in terms of going into detail with it, I did like the cinematography of the movie and just the feel. We went down to Miami and we rode through Liberty City where the movie was filmed at. So it's a beautiful place, but I just feel like the movie, whenever a black movie wins for something big, I have to take off my fan hat and look from a critical aspect.
Yeah.
So basically what we're saying is Moonlight was good. Okay, but what about the other black movies that were nominated that didn't win? Like
Yeah,
Boys
Hidden
in the
Figures
Hood.
should have won.
Yeah, not just Hidden Figures. I'm talking about in the past, like
yeah.
Boys in the Hood. These movies that are the exact same, but you're saying that because I had a discussion with a colleague from NYU. He's basically saying, he was kind of saying, so basically the black man has to be emasculated in order to get recognition. And by saying that, I understand what he's coming from, but are we saying that black gay men aren't part of the diaspora as well?
Now
So it's like it's really confusing because like you don't want to knock the film for winning and saying, oh, they don't deserve it and all we're doing is promoting homosexuality in the black community. But at the same time, are we saying that black men who are not homosexual don't get the recognition?
No, they should. At the end of the day, black women are still at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
So it is
Hidden
what it is.
Figures was
Hidden
the biggest-
Figures.
Hidden Figures was the biggest African American. It was the biggest African American led female film at the box office of all time. It walked away with absolutely nothing. I want to say before that movie, it was Waiting to Exhale. That's my shit. You already know.
Yeah.
We used to watch that all the time. We used to watch the movie all the time. But
Yes.
I feel like Moonlight was amazing in terms of the concept and the cinematography. I'm just kind of conflicted on just the comparison with other black films that did not win. It's like why didn't white America? Not so much that the film won. I don't care about that. My issue is mainly with white America. Why didn't you promote Boys in the Hood this way or Menace to Society? But as soon as the black man is homosexual, then you rally behind it, and it's this coming to age film. How many films do we have about black men in the hood trying to find themselves and get out of the hood?
Right.
But as soon as you put the the homosexual label on it, then we can uplift it and promote it.
Right.
Which I'm not saying that homosexuals aren't part of the black community. I don't care about that. It's just why does white America only decide to uplift one type?
Yeah. Because I mean, I guess to them maybe they consider that still not, a black man is strong. The black heterosexual man is considered to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I guess in their eyes, the black gay man,
Is
even
a
though
flaw,
he's a man,
probably.
there's still a flaw in him, like, because he's not.
That's not what we're saying.
Yeah, no.
We think that's what white America's saying.
These are not my words. Yeah, but but yeah, maybe that's in their eyes. There's that's still a flaw. So it's not like okay, so we can give them that, but at the end of the day, they still are this. They still have this flaw. Like I don't know, it's lame. It is lame. It's corny. Like
that's my issue with the Oscars in general because I'm glad that black people are starting to win, but I feel like we're winning in these stereotypical roles. Viola Davis was basically a baby mama, a wife who got cheated on and stayed with her husband.
Yeah.
Ali was a drug dealer in the movie.
He was.
Marshalani Ali. I can never read his name right. He was a drug dealer. Marshallah Ali was a drug dealer. And, you can just go back and look at the entire history of Oscars. Monique won for being a drug addict mother, abusive mother. You got Denzel winning for being a crooked cop.
Yep.
You got
Halle Berry won for being what was she?
Basically, she had to get naked and sleep with a white man.
Had to sleep with a white man.
You got
Octavia
Octavia Spencer winning for being a maid.
Yep.
Hattie McDaniel won for being a maid.
Yep.
Black people are always winning in these stereotypical roles. Where is our film? Where is our Where is our biography film that we're winning for? Like, why didn't Denzel win in Malcolm X?
Jamie Foxx win?
Jamie Foxx won in Ray, yes.
Okay, we'll give him that.
But half the movie, Ray was being
he was on drugs too.
Yeah, he was being depicted as a heroin addict.
Yeah,
like,
he was.
Half the movie they focused so much on him cheating on his wife and all that.
Yeah.
They really didn't focus on the music aspect of the film. So, out of the entire history of black people winning in the Oscars, I want to say that we almost always win in stereotypical roles. The only role I can think of is Forrest Whitaker won for Last King of Scotland, or The King of Scotland.
I didn't even see that movie.
Me neither. Whoopi Goldberg won in Ghost, but she was playing this mystical, like magical, so that's kind of stereotypical. How many black women have won? I want to say Monique, Octavia Spencer, Halle Berry. It's not been many.
It's not many.
Yeah, and they're all in stereotypical roles. So I think, like, again, with the Moonlight film winning, it's dope, but white America already looks at black men as, not all, but they look at black men as a lot of us being, gay or down low. So it's like,
it's easier to give that.
Yeah, give
award,
that type of stereotypical, quote unquote stereotypical role the accolades versus something like Hidden Figures, which was uplifting as fuck.
Yeah, it really was. Hidden Figures. I think Hidden Figures should have waited to release their movie. Honestly, after like. Because I felt like Moonlight was going to win based off of all the stuff from the beginning of the year.
I thought Fences was going to win. Like, Fences was good as hell.
Fences didn't get that much promotion, though. Not as much as Moonlight did. I don't know if Fences, if they, like, put their stuff in, like, Sundance, like how Moonlight did. But it's like, from the beginning
I don't think they did because it wasn't even ready.
Yeah, from the beginning of last year, I've been hearing about Moonlight throughout the entire year. And then,
but see, I heard about Birth of a Nation, too. They were always talking about
the rape allegations. The rape allegations ruined it. And then Casey Affleck won. And he, yeah, exactly.
Basically, is on trial or was on whatever. He was charged with sexual assault twice, I believe.
Yes.
And he won. And a lot of people
had the nerve to thank Denzel in his speech.
And Denzel looked like, nigga, do not call me. But a lot of people thought Denzel was going to win.
So disrespectful, yeah, because Denzel should have won. He earned it. Like, he earned it. He directed that movie, starred in it.
I forgot about all the black people that win for being slaves. Denzel won for being a slave in Glory. Lupita won for being a slave.
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave won. And that's another thing. Moonlight is only the second African-American film to win Best Picture behind 12 Years a Slave.
Wow.
Out of all these years.
Like, that don't make no sense. Like, it's crazy.
Speaking of Moonlight, what do you think about La La Land accidentally winning? That shit was a setup. It was on purpose.
I think that was. I don't know what that was. I actually got to watch it live because I was mad. I stayed up to watch the Best Picture. Saw that La La won. Was pissed and was like, I'm going to bed. Fuck it. I'm going to bed. Forget it. And then like I was like, well, let me hear their little speech or whatever. They get up on the stage and I'm like, wait a minute, something's not right. Like I could tell like something wasn't right. And then I realized, they announced that Moonlight won and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, way to kill their moment. That entire week after that whole little blurb or mess up, they talked about not just Moonlight winning, but La La. Like they included them in the whole thing. I'm like,
that's what
they didn't
do.
win. Like, stop including them in the narrative. Like they did not win. It was a mess up by the announcer. Okay,
that's
leave
what
it at
white
that.
people do. They
had to share. They had to share a cover of the magazine.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah,
on,
I was like, oh
Variety
my god,
magazine.
like this makes no sense. Like y'all lost. Why are y'all on any magazine cover? Like it's crazy.
I know you see me over here combing my beard care.
Doing the most. I can't. We're going to the next one? Yeah,
yep.
Remy. Oh, Remy, Nicki Minaj, Remy. Oh my God.
Remy went the fuck in on Nicki. I don't care what nobody says.
Ooh,
Remy might have forgot her words when she performed it live. She might have put out a lame second disc, but that Sheether, she went the fuck in over that Nas Ether beat.
I read an interesting thread on Twitter. People were saying, someone said that that the reason she dropped that second disc was to make it more playable on the radio. Even though they were playing Sheether on the radio this week, I definitely heard it on Atlanta radio station all week. Every night at 8 o'clock, Greg Street, shout out to you for that. He was playing Sheether every night this week. And but they were saying that that's the reason why she dropped it. And then they were like, oh, Remy's just trying to get attention. Well, hello, that's what celebrities do. That's how they make their checks. They live off of attention.
I ain't got Nicki Minaj fans that's in there talking about, Nicki got too much money, she's too famous, or,
Everybody has responded in rap.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. In the history of hip-hop, if somebody comes for you, you got to come back at their throat. You got to. You're not above it. You're not below it. You're not better than nobody. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how many pop singers you have on the radio. If somebody comes for you, you got to come back. If not, you're not a part of hip-hop.
And Nicki's not going to do it because she knows that Remy's a more talented rapper than she is.
Yeah, I've said it since day one. Nicki's dope. Nicki's dope, but she's a pop rapper. Yeah. She's doodle wop pop pop all that shit.
I think Nicki has the ability to make a comeback for her, like for Remy, but I don't think it's going to be as strong as Sheether. Like it's not going to be like a
But I think with social media,
it's not
with social media, it's kind of like Drake and Meek Mill. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what Nicki does, people are going to uplift it like it's some fucking prophet putting out a mixtape or something.
I don't think she's going to do it. I think she is going to
do it
on
her album, probably.
Yeah, she's probably going to do it on her album, just like, for money-wise, but whatever. But as a rapper, as somebody that considers himself a rapper, especially from Queens, where all those rappers, like how Charlamagne says she's from Queens, and they're notorious for, responding to beefs when, being addressed. She's not going to do it because she already knows. She knows what time it is. She knows the type of competition that she is up against, and she's very particular about who she responds to.
Man, Remy went in. She talked about her brother being a rapist. She talked about her butt shots. She was like, you just fucked Gucci, now you back with him. Like, She was like, "You got your Ghost Riders back." You know, Drake and Wayne and her in the studio. Remy went in.
Oh man, it was crazy. She went in for 6 minutes too. No hook, nothing.
7 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, almost 7 minutes. No hook, nothing.
But the
just
funny thing about
dragged her.
this was it made people go back and listen to Lil Kim's diss against Nicki, and people was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, Lil Kim went in on Nicki too."
Yeah, she did.
But at the time, Nicki was like at her
peak,
prime, her
that
peak.
might have been right after like the Monster verse,
Yeah.
because that was everybody was like, "Girl, ain't
putting
nobody
up
trying
in
to
the
hear you."
munch.
Yeah.
That shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie. She out rapped Jay-Z and Kanye and Rick Ross in this song.
Exactly, it was crazy. You can go ahead and do the next one. 'cause
The next hot topic is Escape is reuniting. They got back together.
okay.
Did anybody see ya?
I like Escape. I know their music. I guess Tiny has the time now because she's no longer married to T.I. So and she's got to get those checks somehow. So hey,
that she don't know what really turns me on. You remember that song?
Yes, I remember this song. But I guess Tiny got to get these checks, got to get this money rolling in now that
They said that Tiny and T.I.
divorced.
show is still going to be going on though.
Oh really? Even through the divorce and stuff like that.
I guess they're gonna record it. You know,
Oh,
I don't even think
mean-
they're gonna really get divorced.
I think that.
I feel like after like 8 kids, you just take that L and you just stay together.
She
This
just
is
taking-
too much work.
Tiny is taking many L's and taking many charges at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
But I
can't believe
think-
she left either.
I think the Floyd Mayweather situation is just more of a level of respect for T.I. Because T.I. does come from a certain type of neighborhood and environment. Like, you can't be disrespected like that. And then Tiny, I guess she lied and said that Mariah Carey asked them to take a picture together. So she had to do it because it's Mariah. You know, it's a party.
Yeah.
Then the video came out when Tiny was like, "Oh, let's all take a picture." It's like, no, bitch. You fucking lied.
Whoops.
You fucking lied. And you got caught up in it.
I mean,
But,
shoot. T.I., I'm pretty sure he done got caught in 1,000,000, 1,000.
I mean, he
who knows
has.
how many lies.
He
done
has,
been
but
caught
you
up
know,
in.
like being a black man, you can cheat on your girl, but if your girl cheat on you, it's pretty much done.
That's so sad.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
I mean, it's so sad. That's so sad.
that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.
All right, Escape reunited. That's straight. The next one we got is that Georgia couple. They got 20 years for threatening that black couple or the kids party.
Yeah, it was an 8-year-old party out in Douglasville, and a white woman and a white man. Apparently, like 7 other trucks followed them. They're riding by the party, harassing these little kids, saying, you know, "Nigger, you'll die," all this stuff. And I think they had loaded guns or they shot the guns in the air.
I don't know what they did, but they deserve every single year that they got.
So collectively,
Fuck y'all.
they got like 20 years. One of them got 13, one of them got
Did you
7.
see the video of the white girl that was like, I would never do this. But why are we here in court if you would never do something like this?
I'm
Like, what are
surprised they
you
even got
talking about?
convicted because, you know, out in Douglasville, shit be going down. Like,
Yeah.
I done got pulled over so many times.
I am surprised that they hit them with those charges and gave them those years. I'm surprised, honestly, that it even happened. But I feel no remorse for them. Like, they were really in there they were in there like bawling their eyes out because I guess they really didn't think they were gonna get 20 years. I'm like, well, that's your fault. Like, that's your fault. That's what happens. It is what it is, and
It's
it
really
is what it is.
It's really like just it's horrible. It's horrible the way that it's just horrible the things that it comes to in these day and age as far as what black people have to go through still. You come to an 8-year-old party and you basically harass them. My only question is, where the fuck were the 8-year-old parents at? Because it wouldn't have been let that happen at Taylor's party.
I think I know, right? Exactly, I know, right? Like, for real, somebody, like, rounds would have had to be fired off because you're not about to come up here. Please. I think she was, when the girl was apologizing, I guess she was apologizing to the family and stuff like that, but I laughed the entire apology. She was, like, crying. She was like, I would never do these things, so why are we in court, man? Like, what are you talking about?
If
like,
I was the family, I would have put on my iPhone, went on that young guy, I would have been like, fuck you.
Exactly.
Tell the haters and then fuck you.
Oh,
I just
man.
think that black people are still dealing with a lot of
It's folks in
a
jail
lot
for
of
selling
stuff.
weed for longer time.
Yeah,
Like,
I
get
would have
over
literally
it.
been like, fuck you. I would have been in the court playing it.
Exactly.
I'm like, take your 20 years. Fuck you. All right.
Exactly.
So the final hot
man.
topic of the week, Jill, this is all you.
Oh, Get Out, the movie of the month, the movie of maybe the thriller of the half of the year, maybe. But yeah, this movie was so good. I went to go see it on Sunday. Amazing movie. Well, not amazing movie. It's not a horror film. It's a thriller. So don't let people convince you that some super scary movie. It's not super scary. It was great though. It was great seeing a movie from that perspective. It's definitely a movie for Black people, a thriller movie for us finally, where we don't die 1st. Hallelujah! Like, thank God.
I've yet to see it yet, so I don't want to hear any spoilers.
Spoiler alert! No, I'm just like, I ain't gonna. I thought you wanted to see it so we could talk about it.
If
but
you did try to spoil the movie, I'm literally gonna hit you with the goddamn fuck you all over again.
I'm sorry. All right. Well,
I keep
to
hitting
give you
this
a
fucking
synopsis
microphone.
of it.
I wonder can you hear that?
Probably.
Probably. Oh,
To give you a little synopsis of it without spoiling too much. Basically, it's about a black interracial couple, black guy, white girl, and she takes him to go meet her parents. And so it's like the chaos that ensues from that. It's not a it's a little bit of a comedy. It's a little bit of funny. It's a lot. Well, yeah, it is a little bit of funny in it. But it's a thriller movie. Definitely. When you go see it, pay attention to all the little hidden eggs and little gems in the movie, because there's a lot of different things that you may not notice in the movie that you'll later on notice whenever you read one of those episodes, one of those links or something like that on Twitter talking about it. But it's a good film. It's for us. Black people, go see it. It's good.
Definitely going to check it out this week. Definitely going to check it out. All right, we're going to take a little break, but Beast Talk will be right back with our Black Issue of the Week.
Black Issue.
Now, I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress.
All right, we are back with our Black Issue of the Week. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Now, this week, the Black Issue is based on the famous American sitcom called Living Single. The Black Issue of the Week specifically is Living Single as an African American millennial. We wanted to talk about something that's a little different instead of something that's, so dark and depressing in terms of our Black Issue of the Week. So we wanted to kind of lighten it up a little bit.
Lighten the mood.
But we know that African American millennials are on the rise. We're growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So one day we were watching the show Living Single, and we was like, damn, this is a really dope idea to talk about. So the show Living Single is about 3 single black women.
That's 4.
4, my bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say
4 single black women living in an apartment together, and there are 2 single black men living upstairs. I want to say they're all in their late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s.
And basically, the show just follows them being black and single, talking about things like sexuality, rape, fashion, music. It just really covers the entire diaspora of blackness at the time.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s. So, Jill, you got a little... What else you want to say about the show?
It's interesting that we thought about this concept this week because on Facebook and on social media, I was seeing like little memes about just living single in particular, a group of like what a group of girls look like, and they labeled the group from Living Single. They was like every group of girl has the petty friend, which was Maxine, the ghetto friend, which was Queen Latifah's character, the bougie friend, which was Regine, and then the goofy ditzy friend, which was what's her name?
The bigger girl?
Yeah. I can't remember her name.
I know her name. It wasn't. I don't know her name. But
Yeah. The goofy ditzy one, the one at the end that dated Overton.
She was Queen Latifah's cousin in the show.
Yeah, so like they was like every group of girlfriends has like these characteristics in their
even
friendships.
the show like Girlfriends modeled that.
They did, yeah.
The show Friends modeled that.
Yep.
I would even say Golden Girls came out first, but they still have the same 4 characteristics that you were talking about. I don't know if Sex and the City came out first, but I want to say Sex and the City basically model Living Single as well. Like all of these shows with these women, even Insecure.
Yep.
Insecure basically has the same group of friends.
Yeah, they do. They really do. So it's interesting that was like the main thing that I noticed about the show is those different personality types in a group of girlfriends. So that was that's probably the best part about that show. Let's see.
Talk about the cultural relevance of the show. Like, what makes that show so important to the black community.
The show is lit. Honestly, it doesn't get the recognition it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. Because Friends was stolen from that show. So
And I
a lot
think
of
that
people,
Girlfriends overshadow Living Single, so people kind of forget about Living Single.
yeah, a lot of people forget about Living Single just because of the time period that it was on, based on when Girlfriends was on and stuff like that. But Living Single is a really good show, really dope show. They touched on a lot of different things that singles go through or went through during that time period. It was crazy. Like, it was really good.
It
My
was really
God.
good. So us being in this time period, 2017, what do you think some of the major concerns are with being an African American millennial and being single?
I think one of the biggest concerns was probably just the amount of social media influence that there is in our generation. I feel like our generation is probably the most narcissistic generation there is known to man. Like, we care about our appearance
We do.
more than anybody. We care about what we look like, how we appear to people.
And we're validated through social media
Yeah,
and the
and-
likes that we receive or don't receive.
Yeah. So
Like, some people would delete a picture if it doesn't get enough likes.
yes, they really will, and it's crazy that
I've
it's
done
crazy.
that.
It's crazy that we do live like that, but I mean, that's the age that we live in. We live in a social media age. So social media is basically a big influence on the way relationships, pretty much millennial relationships. I feel like social media plays a huge influence. People that are in relationships, they sometimes feel like their significant other should post them on social media. Like, it's like, oh, you don't post me on social media. Like, what
So it's
what is
not
that?
real,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, so it's not real. Like, all it's just
But I think that social media, in terms of relationships, also plays a major part in fidelity, because
yeah.
you can literally find somebody on social media and almost cheat, like link up with them within a day and do what you do and go back to your, and no one will ever know.
Yep.
Like, I
The
think a lot of
DM is a whoo, man.
Yeah, it's really, and I think that's what makes a lot of millennials not want to be in relationships these days, because social media it's a fucking snapper. It's a trap.
relationship killer. It
It
really
is.
is. It
It
can
is.
be. It can be if you
Because
let it.
someone can hit you up on some homie friend shit, and y'all might, be vibing, and y'all might get along on something about some sports. Next thing you know, it turns into something more.
Yep.
And it's not in your thread in your phone, so your spouse might not even think to look in social media.
Yep.
But not just that, but like I see girls on Facebook, they get mad when another girl likes their man's picture.
That's crazy. That's
So-
just an insecurity thing. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It doesn't. It makes absolutely no sense. Like, if the girl isn't in your man's DMs, why do you care if they're liking the picture?
I don't know. I think, like, again, it
If the
comes down
picture's
to
nice,
social
it
media.
looks nice. Like, that's the point of you posting a nice picture and the person to like it. Like, oh, I like that. That looks good. Like, that outfit looks good. Like, you don't know why the person clicked like for the picture.
I guess it's more so the repeated amount of likes
Yeah.
for that same person.
Yeah.
That I think it can be a relationship killer, because people,
Some
this
people
day
do it
and
on.
age-
Some people do it on purpose.
they do. But I think in this day and age, social media, it's a detractor from relationships. It really can
It
kill
can
it.
be. Yeah.
It really can kill it. So I think, like, in terms of living single as an African American millennial, you're always kind of nervous about what your spouse is doing on social media. And then in terms of women, it's even harder.
I would like for Insecure to touch on that next season.
Social media.
Like the influence that social media has on relationships. Because Living Single, of course, they couldn't
Yeah,
touch on that
social media
because they
wasn't
didn't
big
have
back
it,
then. But Living Single is coming back on Netflix,
Oh
apparently.
yeah,
Or it
true.
might
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
But,
So if they touch on that, that'd
yeah.
be deep. That'd be dope because
But they're not in their 20s anymore. They're, 40s.
yeah, they don't need to do the same. I don't think they need to do the same cast, but yeah, like any show like that resembles Living Single, they need to put
Incorporate,
social media, incorporate social media because that is a huge influence.
It really is.
It is, definitely is.
It really is. I think that another reason why not social media, but I think another reason why millennials have such a issue with possibly being in relationships is that our generation, we are very, very career driven, and we are one of the most educated, demographics
Yeah.
of our entire, diaspora of Black Americans.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that you have these Black singles, in their 20s to 30s that are trying to better themselves in terms of career and school wise. We're constantly being force fed this idea that school is important, having a good job is important.
Yep.
So a lot of people are single because I look at it as two spectrums. A lot of people are single because they're too needy, and the person that they want is busy working a full-time job and going to school full-time.
Yep.
So they're single because they're needy. Then the other part of people are single because they are working a full-time job and they're going to school
literally
full-time.
don't
So
have
it's
time.
like, yeah, they don't have time. So I think that makes it difficult for people to be in relationships. I know, like you, you've been balancing relationship and you've been in school, you've worked, you know, you help out with your family. How does that play into, you know, living single? Or sometimes when you are single, do you think that people don't understand that you have so much to do?
That's a good point. I've been able to balance a relationship and being in school and all this other stuff for probably the past, what year is it? It's 2017.
17, yeah.
I've been in and out of relationships since 2010. So, I know, right? I know, right?
Fix
But
it, Jesus.
I mean, it works for me. It just works for me. I had my fun in high school, and I'm that type of person that's looking to settle down with somebody. But because I am so busy, I do a lot of different things. So a lot of times my relationship takes a back burner on a lot of different things. Emotionally, the way that I deal with things emotionally, I guess I can give you an example. My last relationship, the relationship I'm in right now, we had to take a break because I wasn't available to her emotionally like I should have been.
Was there any break babies?
No. Hell to the
No.
Exactly. Hell no. Hell to the no. There were no break babies. But I'll take the blame on half of that because I wasn't emotionally available to her. But at the same time, I was dealing with a lot of shit in my life. I was physically sick on top of just dealing with financial issues, on top of dealing with just career issues, just a lot of different things I was dealing with. So our relationship definitely suffered because of that. And her voicing that we need to take a break kind of opened my eyes to that I wasn't, giving her the attention and time that she needed, physically, emotionally, and all that other stuff, mentally. And I kind of had to check myself, and so I've been doing a lot better on it since the beginning of this year and stuff like that. And so we've gotten back in our relationship, and we're working on things.
That's
but
good.
She also understands that I am trying to basically build a foundation for my life. Like
I hear you talking about you.
Yeah.
But what about the neediness of other people? Do you think that plays a role?
It does play a role
I
because
think this
that's why
generation-
we want to break.
Right.
Because,
And I think that in terms of from my perspective, I know a lot of black women want a black man to take care of them. They want not so much take care of them, but they want them to be on their level, or they want a black man their age to take care of them. They want a black man to be able to take them on these dates that they see on social media. They want to be able to be spoiled, and they want to be able to be held and just.
Well, you need to date a scammer.
No, you want a father. That's what you want.
Yeah,
because there's no one. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be 20 to 30 and have all of that set up. You're just not.
Yeah, you're
and
not.
we look at these social media entrepreneurs that are able to give their women this, but we don't take into account of the normal 22, 25-year-old who's in college working a job trying to make it. We can't do that for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to be able to accept that and understand that.
Exactly. And I think that with black women being so farther ahead than black men in terms of school and career, that a lot of black women, they don't get in relationships during college. They knock out their shit, then they get in relationships after college.
Yeah.
But then they want black men who sometimes we take a little longer to get certain things done.
Get your shit together.
Yeah. So it's like you want this man who can do all of this stuff for you, but you have to allow him the time to get to where you are. Uplift him while he's doing that. Don't knock him or go out there and find somebody else. Or it's just basically
It's a balance, man.
It's definitely a balance.
It's definitely a balance.
How do you think that interracial relationships play into being a single African American millennial?
I don't know, because I don't date white girls. Honestly, I'm not. I'm
White
just gonna
men.
get my white men. Please, I don't date white people, white men, white women. That's just not my thing. Like, you have to be able to relate to me. I don't want to have to be talking to you on the phone and say like, oh, it's lit, and they be like, oh, what does that mean? Like, I don't have time for that.
Urban Dictionary, lit.com.
Exactly. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for any. I don't have time to be explaining the way I speak to you and stuff like that. You need to already know what I'm saying when I say
Or not just
it.
the way you speak, but you don't have time to be explaining, you know, you come home from a job interview and you think that you didn't get it because of your dreads
Yeah.
or just the color of your skin. And they're like, wait, well, you know, I don't think that dreads really matter. You know, so
Actually,
like
it does. Actually, they do.
Yeah.
Because they passed a whole law about it, so they do. They do matter. But yeah, like I just don't have time for that. Like, I can't really give an opinion on interracial relationships because I've never dated anybody outside of my race. So I can't really give a oh, it's like this, oh, it's like that. I mean, we should have somebody on the show that. We should have an interracial couple on the show because that'll be actually interesting because I want to hear their opinion and like, you know, just their side of things and how they even get along because I just can't see myself being with somebody outside of my race because I feel like they wouldn't understand me. They don't understand my struggle. I've been through a lot of different things, a lot of different Black experiences that they would not understand at all. And so it would be hard to be in a relationship with somebody or just express myself to them and they'll just be like, oh, well, I don't think it's that way. And I'll be like, nah, bitch, fuck it. Like, I can't deal with it because you don't get it. Like, you're not going to get it and you're never going to get it.
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong with interracial relationships.
Nah,
if it's for you, then go ahead. But I think that myself as well, I kind of feel what you feel. Like, there's no point in it's hard to explain something to somebody that they'll never get.
Yeah.
No matter how much you try to explain it, they're never going to get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's another amazing podcast idea. Have some interracial couples on here and talk about the things that they might go through.
Yeah.
But sticking to the living single, why do you think so many Black people in our age group choose their career or school over their spouse? Or not even over their spouse, but over being in a relationship?
One thing that I think that makes like a big difference in that is because I feel like a lot of people in our generation grew up in divorced or single parent households or like, you know, just either they were you know, their parents were married at one time and then they got divorced due to career. Who knows? Like, who knows why the parents got divorced? But I feel like a lot of people in our generation grew up in separated households. The parents weren't together the whole time. There are a lot of people that I do know whose parents are together 20, 30 years. I think it's your parents' anniversary today now I think about it.
How do you know that?
Facebook. But yeah, so like it's a lot of people that I do know that whose parents have still been together for years and years and years and, you know, making it work. But there's a lot of people that I know. It's probably good half and half.
Yeah, I want to say I think it's over 50%.
Yeah, it might be a little over 50%. So that's probably the main reason why like people they've lived through either their mother taking care of them just full time and making it, or either their father taking care of them full time and making it. So it's like they like, oh, I can live without somebody. Like it's possible. Like it's not impossible. And it just depends on the way you were raised.
With so many Black women opting out of relationships, focusing on themselves first, you know, you have the whole idea of the strong Black woman.
Yeah.
And a lot of times by the time that they get ready to be in a relationship, the Black men are taken up because, you know, a lot of Black men are by then in jail or decided
or have kids already.
Yeah, or gay, you know, or handicapped.
Yeah,
or like
or that.
like the Black men pool is very limited.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you think about the Black women that put their relationships first? I mean, that put their careers first and then come back and want a, you know, relationship, but they can't find one, i.e. Mary Jane and being Mary Jane.
Shoot, I mean, I don't know, ladies. Like, you gotta pick them early. Yeah. Pick them early and keep them close. That's
not
really
so
all
much
I can
keep
say.
them close, but I think that you have to be willing to work together.
Work
together.
through some things.
Like you can't like you said before, you can't expect a man to do a lot for you at a certain age when they're grinding just like you.
Yeah. I mean, I can only piggyback off of my current relationship. I'm not at a place in my financially where I want to be, and the person that I'm with, you know, they're doing pretty well. Have grown up in a household where everything is, you know, where they've they're pretty well off or whatever. So it's like sometimes I be trying to explain some certain things to her, and like she can relate to an extent, but at the same time she really can't. But she still understands where I'm coming from, and she still understands why I'm going as hard as I am going, because I'm trying to build a foundation. I don't want my mother still working. My mother's damn near working 2 jobs still, and she's about to be 60 this year. So it's like, I don't want that for her. I don't want that for my family. I don't want that for my nephew. I don't want anybody in my family to have to
struggle. Yeah,
I don't want anybody in my family to have to struggle the way I struggled. I'm not saying that I grew up in poverty or whatever, but we did struggle. My mother, the way my mother handled her finances, she handled her finances in a way where we weren't missing meals, but we weren't eating We weren't eating
Salmon.
name brand shit. We were eating
Yeah.
Great Value, everything. Like, it was like we still
Trust
stayed
me.
in our house, and the only reason we stayed in our house was because we had the money from my father, and so that's the only reason we lived where we lived. But in the aspect of finances, we were struggling. Like we were struggling. We were struggling, and now that I'm grown and I realize how much we were struggling. My mother used to skip meals and buy us food, and I would see that she wasn't eating like that night. And it was crazy. Like, I look back on it, I'm like, wow. Like,
So you think that a lot of black people want to take care of their parents, so they kind of focus on their career more and their schooling more, therefore passing up relationships?
hell yeah, because the relationship that you're in, they didn't raise you. Like, they didn't take care of you. They're not the reason that you're there today. So it's like, you're gonna have to take a back burner while I'm trying to get everything together to take care of this person that pretty much put me in the position I'm in right now. Like, they're the reason I'm here right now. They're the reason I'm the person I am today.
I think that kind of plays on, again, how we talked about generational wealth.
Yeah.
When white people make it, they don't have to go take care of their parents.
don't.
Their parents are already taken care of.
Yep.
So while white people are, going to college and getting educated, their primary focus is not making it for their parents.
Yep.
So they're able to be in relationships. I saw an article one time I read in sociology class, and it talks about how black women go to college to basically better themselves, educate themselves, and just make money for their family, like you said. And it talks about how white women go to college to find a husband. White women get their degree.
I believe it.
I mean, I don't want to
believe
say
it.
it's true, but it seems very true.
Yeah, I believe
White
that,
women
actually.
do go. If you look at the number of white women who get married to somebody that they met in college compared to black women, you can kind of, that argument can be validated.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's like, again, it all boils down to the issues that black people face in comparison to the issues that white women face.
Yeah, I was definitely in school. My mother always preached going to school, going to college, getting an education, getting a degree. That was her main thing, like, throughout my entire life. That's all she wanted from me, is to go to college and graduate and get a great job. And I've done that, and I did that for her. But now that I'm out of school, I realize that, my potential, even though I do have that education, that athletically, I'm a fucking beast. And so I really need to pursue that on one spectrum, and on the other spectrum that we got this podcast and stuff going on, as on a creative side. I have talents in that realm as well. So like, I really want to explore those options before I really just dip down into working for some company. And I don't even see myself working for somebody.
else,
Like, I'm a horrible employee.
That's another thing about millennials. So many millennials.
We've been brainwashed into thinking that we need to get a job and work for somebody.
Our generation is number one in terms of rejecting corporate America, rejecting politics, and rejecting religion.
Yeah,
We're going to get into that a little bit more with our black facts. But I think that another reason why black millennials might be single is it boils down because we want to.
Yeah.
A lot of black millennials, African American millennials, we do, not that we so much fear commitment, we don't want commitment. We like saying things like relationships are overrated. We like saying things like, I don't believe in labels, or I don't believe in being tied down. So I think that we are a lot more open-minded in terms of the way that we live our life. We're not as traditional in terms of going to school, graduating from high school, the woman lays down and spread her legs and have 5, fucking litter of kids and stays home and takes care of the man.
And that's because we've lived in non-traditional lives and went to school with people who live non-traditional lives as well. So we just experienced that non-traditional lifestyle, and it's like, oh well, these people are surviving just fine. Like, why do I gotta fall into the norm or whatever these folks say? Like, why do I have to get married by 24 and have kids by 26?
I think that we're definitely denying or going against what the social norm is, which is definitely a good thing in terms of being black. I think that this generation, I'm not gonna say we're a lot more woke, but we are very woke in comparison to the generation above us, who is a little more complacent in terms of like, just keep your head down. Let's do what we're supposed to do. And an issue that I do have with this generation, not so much this generation, but the older generation, I hate how when I was growing up, I heard so many people say, this is just the worst generation of kids I ever seen. This is the worst. It's like, bitch, you raised us. What do you mean? You raised us. So what are you going to say?
Exactly. It makes no sense to me. I hate that.
What are some other things that What are some other things that you or other people that you've went through being an African American single millennial? or living single as an African American millennial? What's another thing that you've went through?
Besides social media,
I think racism. We still deal with that.
yeah, still deal with racism.
And I think that it's a lot more subtle these days.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more
Shout out to
subtle.
white people. Y'all are sneaky. A lot of white people, they are so fucking sneaky, maniacal, and what is it? Just, they are very sneaky and shady, just like in the way that they say things.
Shout out to the white people that I work with. Y'all are pretty cool. They ask a lot of questions. I think a few of them listen to the show, been listening to the show. So a lot of them ask a lot of questions, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
if you ask me a question, I will answer. I may laugh before I answer it,
But I think that has to do
funny.
with. I think that has to do with our character. We weed out the white people that we know are kind of cool. Like I have some white friends. Shout out to Leela. Like they ask.
Shout out to Leela.
Like they ask questions.
At least you ask.
Yeah, like they ask questions or they want to know.
Yeah.
Versus the white people that we went to high
Just
school
assume.
with. Yeah, that just assume these stereotypes and they just go with whatever the status quo is.
Yeah.
So I think that the white people that we do put in our circle, they're a little bit more open-minded. So I think that makes it easier for us to spread positivity among interracial issues.
But to piggyback off of what you said, the biggest issue I see in our generation is social media, man. Like I really like even being in a relation, just maintaining the relationships that I've been in now. I have to distance myself from social media. My girlfriend hates it right now, but I don't dress up. I don't try to like put myself out there on social media because I don't want any of that extra attention. Like she hates that I don't, put my earrings in, stuff like that, all this other stuff. I don't want that extra attention. I don't want girls in my DM. I don't want any of that because I don't want that temptation because I'm focused on my career, I'm focused on my family, and I'm focused on you. Like you need to understand that until and when I get to a point financially where I can just, ball out or whatever, do all the other stuff, then maybe I'll show out on social media. But until then, I'm focused on you and I'm focused on everything that I need to be focused on. And once I get to that point financially, all them other hoes that's gonna be in my DM ain't gonna matter anyway because
Exactly.
yeah, because we in it for the long haul. But that's the biggest thing that I think is the issue with
Social
black
media.
singles. I feel like a lot of people our age love the idea of being in love, but don't like to put the work. Don't want to put the work into being in because a lot of
We
people don't
run
realize
from relationships so easily. Like there might be a little argument and oh my god, I'm done.
fuck them. Yeah, oh my god, I'm done. Like no, like being in love with somebody and being in a relationship with somebody is work. It's real work.
I think that people in our generation, we love love.
Yeah,
we don't
love the idea of love.
We love the idea of love.
Yeah.
Or we love to put on like we're in love and put up our spouse on social media, but we don't actually love being
Don't want to
in
put that
love.
work in. Yeah,
We don't want to be with our person every single minute of the day.
Yeah.
We don't want to, and it's like that comes and goes with
And I'm in a long distance relationship, so I got to put in double the work. Like my girl hates it. I don't think she hates it, but like sometimes she gets annoyed with how much I call her on a daily basis. But it's like I have to do this because I need you to understand that communication is the number one thing in our relationship. That's the number one thing in any type of long distance relationship. You have to be able to communicate effectively.
relationships. Period. Hell.
Yeah, and you have to be able to communicate effectively. So I make it a point to make sure that she knows that I am trying to I'm trying to communicate with you. Like I'm gonna call you in the morning. I'm gonna call you when I get off of work. I'm probably gonna call you before I go to sleep at night. Before I go to work, stuff like that. When I leave a workout, I'm texting you all day. Like you need to understand. It's like you need to understand that you're the only person that I'm in contact with for most of the day, because if there's a point where I'm not calling her or contacting her, then she knows something's up. So then she knows something wrong. She asks, what's going on with you, stuff like that, and then I'll let her know what's going on with me. But communication is key. A lot of people don't want to put in that work. Yep. They don't. They just want to post pictures and be cute.
Exactly. And I think that, like you said, communication is key. And with being not even just being in a long distance, but in our day and age with millennials, we're always on the go.
Yeah.
So if you are showing your spouse or your significant other that time and that, a lot of people think that, a lot of people in our demographic or in our age group think that you're being controlling.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people in our age group as African-American millennials who feel like their person that they're with is not so much over them or overbearing, but a lot of times we think that people are giving too much time, and it's like, no, that's what you do when you love somebody.
Yeah.
You have to give them that time.
Yep.
You have to give them that affection because we are always on the go.
Yep.
being a young black African American millennial, you're always on the go. So if I'm blowing you up and texting you when I'm not around you, that means I fucking care. Because when I don't do it, then you got a fucking problem. Then you have a problem.
Exactly. You put the nail. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head right there.
That's definitely, and I think that pretty much sums it up. Like, I think that being, African American millennial and living single in just society today, you do have to deal with racism. You have to deal with people that want to be in relationships. And if you want to be in a relationship, you have to deal with people that want to put their career and their job over you.
And on top of that, you have to deal with social media.
It's a bitch.
It is. It's a bitch. It is.
We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with our Black History of the Week.
Yes.
Halfway. Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye.
All right, we are back with our Black History of the Week. Now, this week we wanted to keep our Black History short and sweet. We wanted to tie it into the overall premise of the show, which was living single as an African American millennial. So for the Black History of the Week, we have some statistics to kind of back up our conversation.
Yeah.
Just Jill, take us away.
All right. First one we got is black millennials are leaving organized religion. Roughly 29% of millennials are not religiously affiliated.
I can believe it.
I agree.
I can believe it.
I'm still religiously affiliated, but I don't go to church right now.
Me neither.
My mother hates it. She hates it. She hates it. She hates it. And I live with her, so she really fucking
But
hates
I think it's because the older generation force-fed us church. Like, I went to church from age 4 to 18 every single Sunday.
From birth to 18.
And it's like, basically, we're kind of rejecting we're rejecting the status quo.
On top of being educated, I know what the preacher's about to talk about before he even preaches it. I know, when I say I know the Bible backwards and forwards, I know it. I went to a Christian school for up until 3rd grade. Like, I know every single story in the Bible, every theme, everything that they're about to talk about when the preacher talks about it, I know it. And a lot of people be like, oh, well, you need to go and reinforce I know what he's about to say before he says it.
Not only that, but you don't have to go to church to be a Christian or whatever religion that you want to be with. You don't have to go to church. On top of
giving tithes, I have a strong feeling about giving tithes, but that might be a whole episode for itself, just black religion, black everything, like the black church. That might be a whole episode for itself right there, because it has been exploited to a point of no end, and it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. A lot of people are brainwashed, and they need to get over it. Like, they need to develop their own relationship.
Speaking of black church,
their own God.
Greenleaf is about to start back soon, I think. That show is dope as fuck.
I need to catch up on that because I started it, but I didn't finish.
It shits on Empire.
Damn.
All right, the next black fact or the Black History of the Week is black millennials make up 14% of all millennials in comparison to 11% of the African American baby boomer generation. So basically, we're growing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Our generation is growing.
Shit, I could tell that from how many girls was pregnant in high school. I mean, from as many people that are pregnant now. Like, I know it's a boomer generation going on right now. Shit.
Exactly. The next one is black millennials. We keep the music industry relevant. In terms of hip hop is, I guess, one of the biggest markets right now.
Yep.
Even though it's kind of
saturated.
Yeah, it's saturated because we are mainstream. We keep that growing. We keep that live. Like, if you look at I know with the Adele and Beyonce thing, people were mad because black people keep performing at these awards, but we're not winning. Yeah. We're performing to get ratings.
Yep.
We make the show relevant.
Yep.
If you didn't mention a black person performing at the Grammys or the American Music Awards or any type of award show, you would lose a major demographic in terms of viewership because we keep it relevant.
Yep, we do.
We're
the cool.
Keep it relevant.
We are the cool. Let's see. Black millennials are 25% more likely to try new technology. I feel like that percentage is higher.
It probably is.
It probably is. I mean, that's just me being a tech person, but I feel like that's a little bit higher. Any new app that comes out, anything that comes out, we are on it, in it, all through it.
We are.
Black Twitter is real.
I'm about to say, Black Twitter, these statistics that I got were from theroot.com.
Oh, okay.
So it actually talked about Black Twitter and the importance of Black Twitter in terms of how we
without
create
Black
the culture.
Twitter would be dead.
Yeah,
I know that for a fact.
It would. And
I know that for a fact.
To piggyback off of technology, I'm going out of order, but 91% of African Americans own smartphones, and we're only second to Asian Americans.
Wow.
So
That's
we're
crazy.
definitely,
Yeah. That means We definitely killing that shit. And it's crazy. The interesting fact about that, because Snapchat just released their IPO this week. They went public on the stock market. Black people, y'all need to get into the stock market. They need to pay attention to the new trends. I just had my mom buy some stock in Snapchat this week, and we're gonna make some money off of that. I hope y'all understand that. Like, Snapchat is the biggest thing since Facebook. And so if you haven't got into the stock market, you need to, that is the legal trap. Like, y'all need to get into that. Get into it for real. Let's see. Next one we got is 21% of African Americans aged 25 through 34 have an associate's degree or higher versus 17% of those who are 55 and older. I mean, I understand that because we were preached, like, that was drummed into our head to get a degree, finish high school.
And that plays off the topic that we said earlier about African Americans are putting their degrees and their careers over relationships. That's why so many black people are living single, because you get in a relationship with somebody who's not willing to wait on you to, expand your career.
Yeah.
Moving right along, black income is increasing. From 2004 to 2014, the number of black households with annual incomes of $50K to $75K increased by 18%.
You know what's crazy? The only area that I feel like I've seen or actually witnessed that growth is in Atlanta. There's so many black people so many black people with money that live here. In Athens, it really doesn't seem like that to me.
Because that's not really a mecca. But I think that I should have included it was an article I was reading on the best locations for black millennials to be. And I believe it said Atlanta was like 3rd or 4th behind New York. Houston was on the list.
I was about to say, I know Houston had to be up there.
Miami, I want to say Chicago, if you don't mind being shot at. I want to say it was another big city on there, but moving right along. African American millennials make up 1/4 of the entire black population. That's 25%. Yeah. We're definitely growing.
I didn't know that. All right.
Definitely growing.
And then 55% of all African Americans spend at least 1 hour a day on the internet. That's true.
I think it's more than that.
I think it's more than that too. Yep.
Because I don't
We're
think
checking our phones all day.
Yeah, I don't think they take into account the phone. The phone aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I think that number is definitely higher. But
and the phone is the internet is connected to everything on your phone.
Yep.
So if you're doing anything on your phone, you're connected to the internet. So
definitely. But if you want to find out more about black millennials, go to theroot.com or just go on your Google search and type in black millennials /The Root.
Yep.
We're going to take a little break, but we will be back with our complicated question of the week.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we are back with our final segment of the show, which is our complicated question of the week. Now, Jill, how can this generation fix their issues with commitment in terms of living single as an African American millennial?
My number one answer to that question is stay off of social media. Stop looking for social media for validation for your relationship. And actually talk to the person that you're in a relationship with. Work on that. Work on a personal relationship instead of verifying your relationship through social media. That's the number one thing.
I agree. I think that we can definitely stay off of social media and stop putting your relationship on social media.
Stop putting your business on social media.
Stop
please.
arguing with your spouse on social media and then getting back together. Like, I know people who have been engaged and unengaged 50 times on social media within a year, and I don't understand it.
It makes no sense. Like, why are you putting that stuff on social? Why are you arguing with your spouse? Not even spouse. Why are you arguing with your significant other on social media?
Especially if you're going to get right back together.
It's embarrassing, too. It's so, it's just, why are you putting all the information out there? You're giving everyone...
And it's not just women anymore.
It's men
dudes.
Men and women. It's crazy. Y'all social media is not your diary. There is a great website called Talkspace.com where you can talk to a personal counselor, someone confidential about your problems and your issues. If you're having any issues, stop putting it on Facebook. Stop putting the statuses up. Stop putting the tweets about it. Stop shading your person on Twitter. Stop doing it.
I know that
text
Facebook
them, call
says.
them.
I know that Facebook says what's on your mind, but we really don't give a fuck.
We don't give no fucks. Facebook is lying
people.
to you. Stop telling people what's on your mind for real. Do not do it. It's embarrassing and you look stupid. You look dumb.
Stupid.
You look dumb. My God. But yeah, that is a simple answer to that question. Stay the fuck off of social media if you want to keep your relationship flourishing and thriving. All the people that I know that have great relationships, don't use social media as much. Honestly, the people that I know that have great relationships on Facebook, those people, you don't even know that they're in a fucking relationship because they don't even show the person that they're in a relationship on social media. Like, that's how that, and those are some of the greatest relationships. Like, you don't even know that they're in a relationship with them because they barely talk about them on social media, and it's great.
Exactly. And I think that even if you want to be on social media, there could be a balance.
Yeah.
But you don't need to look for social media for validation. And then in terms of our question, I know that I asked... how can this generation fix their issues with commitment? But within that question, we have to point out that a lot of young African American millennials, we don't want commitment.
Yeah.
We don't even want commitment. People want a fuck buddy. Let's just be honest. People want a fuck buddy.
Yeah. At this age point, I mean, in this age bracket that we're in, yeah, they do. They don't really want commitment. But stop lying to people and saying
that you want a commitment to get pussy.
Yeah. Don't lie. Be upfront about it. Like, for real. Be upfront about it. Like, I don't know who does that. What gender? Like, I don't know who does that the most. But
me.
You stupid. But don't lie about, like, if all you want is just somebody to fuck or somebody to be with.
Just be honest.
Be straight up from the jump. And most people will be on board with you. And then
surprisingly,
most people are on board with it.
A lot of women are on board with it.
And a lot of relationships can actually grow, or that can turn into a relationship from just being a fuck buddy, because you were honest from the jump, like, and it could grow into something more if you actually end up liking the person for more than what that is, for more than just a sex. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, just be honest. That's the biggest thing to fix commitment issues. Being real.
Exactly.
Real. Being honest.
All right, now everybody, this is your boy T Brad, and I'm signing off.
And this is girl Just Jill, and we are done, baby.
That's been another episode of Beast Talk. We out.
Living
single. Yeah, we got in a single life.
Yeah.
Single.
Ooh, in a nice kind of world.
I'm glad I got my. Keep your head up, what? Keep your head up, that's right.
Yeah.
We don't know the words, but we gon' fight. Freestyling, okay.
To my left, right.
Blue, tight like, ooh.
Yeah.
Living.
Ooh.
Single.
Yeah.